Hello, friends. Did you know that poems can express deep emotions in just a few lines? Welcome to this new series dedicated entirely to poems, Decoding Poem. In this series, we will dive deep into everything about poems. We will explore what a poem is, its characteristics, different types of poems, how to write a poem, and even how to analyze unseen poems often asked in exams. There's a lot to learn in this series, so please share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments on how we can improve on it. Let's begin with part 1, Introduction to Poems. In this video, we will understand what a poem is. Look at an example to understand its different characteristics like verses, stanzas, rhyme, and rhythm. And finally, I will give you an exercise to solve. So, without further ado, let's get started. What is a poem? A poem is a piece of writing that expresses emotions, ideas, or a story through carefully chosen words, which often uses figurative language when read aloud, follows a particular rhythmic pattern. Poems can be short or long and can explore themes like love, nature, happiness, sadness, or life. Please note the word poem is pronounced differently in different accents. Please hear the word's pronunciation in British English
Poem,
and now in American English.
Poem,
So, please remember this difference. Now, let's understand why poems hold so much importance. Poems help convey deep feelings, spark imagination, and connect with readers on a personal level, making complex ideas simple and memorable. Do you remember this poem? The poem's title is The Star by Jane Taylor. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. I'm sure you do. Let's use this simple example to understand what a poem is. Here, each collection of words is called a line or verse. For instance, Twinkle, twinkle, little star is line 1. How I wonder what you are is line 2. Up above the world so high is line 3. And like a diamond in the sky is line 4. A collection of lines is called a stanza. Here, 4 lines make up one stanza. A poem can have one or more stanzas. In this poem, there are 5 stanzas in total, but we are focusing on the first one. The person who writes the poem is called the poet. The poet of this poem is Jane Taylor. The person narrating the poem is called the speaker or the voice of the poem. In this poem, we can assume the child is talking to the star or describing it. So, the child is the speaker here. Please note, the speaker can be the poet himself or herself or any imaginary character that poet wants to portray. Now, let's understand what is rhyme and rhythm in the poem. Let's look at the last word of each line. Line 1, star. Line 2, R. Line 3, I. Line 4, sky. Notice how star and R rhyme and how I and sky rhyme too. The rhyme pattern here is AABB. Poems can have various rhyme patterns like AABB or ABAB or none at all. Another unique aspect of a poem is rhythm. Let's recite the poem again. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Did you notice the rhythm? Da 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 da. This is called rhythm in a poem. The tune helps establish the flow and makes it easier to read or even sing. Also, certain words or phrases often get repeated for rhythm or to highlight their importance. In this example, Twinkle Twinkle is repeated for both rhythm and to emphasize the star's shimmering light. Now, let's understand what is a central idea or theme in a poem. The central idea or theme of this poem is admiration for and the importance of a star. Poems can explore a wide range of themes like love, nature, joy, happiness, life, and more. Now that we have understood what a poem is, let's address an important question. Is poem and poetry the same? You might also think that both of these words are same. Although these terms are used interchangeably, there is a subtle difference between them. Poetry refers to poems as a whole. So, poetry can be thought of collection of poems and all its related artwork, whereas a poem is a single work in this category. Think of poetry as a garden and a poem as a specific flower within that garden. After learning about poems in depth, let's test your understanding with a small exercise based on the poem we discussed right now. The poem was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? Now, please choose the correct answers from the questions below. Number 1. How many lines are there in the first stanza of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? 2, 4, or 6? Number 2. What is the collection of lines in a poem called? Verse, stanza, or paragraph? Number 3. What is the rhyme pattern of the first stanza of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? ABAB, AABB, or ABCD? What does the sound da 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 represents in the poem? Rhyme, rhythm, or theme? And number 5. What is the central theme of the star poem? Admiration for a star, the beauty of trees, the importance of sunset. Pause the video, solve the exercise, and message your answers in the comment. I am waiting for your reply. I hope you would have given the correct answers. And to know my answer, please check the description of the video. Let's quickly revise what we learned in this lesson. A poem is a piece of writing that expresses emotions, ideas, or a story through carefully chosen words. Poems often have rhyme and rhythm and are organized into lines and stanzas. The poet writes the poem and the speaker or voice expresses the thoughts. Poems explore various themes with rhythm and rhyme, adding to their musical quality. That's all for this video. In the next lesson, we will dive into the types, elements, and characteristics of poems. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. All the best for your upcoming exams, and see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.